My name is Patricia, and at 58 years old, I thought I'd learned to manage my expectations when it came to my children. But this Mother's Day was different. This Mother's Day broke something inside me that I didn't even know could break. It started 3 weeks before the actual day. I was in my kitchen in suburban Philadelphia, the same kitchen where I'd made thousands of school lunches, birthday cakes, and comfort meals over the past 30 years. The afternoon light filtered through the white curtains, casting soft shadows on the granite countertops that my late husband Robert had installed just before he passed away 2 years ago. I picked up my phone with a smile, ready to call my eldest daughter, Jessica. She was 34 now, a successful marketing executive in Manhattan with a corner office and a schedule that would make anyone's head spin. The phone rang 4 times before she answered. "Mom? Hi. I only have a second," Jessica said, her voice already distant, already somewhere else. I could hear the clicking of her keyboard in the background. "Sweetheart, I was just calling about Mother's Day. I thought maybe we could all get together this year. It's been so long since..." "Mom, I'm so sorry, but I can't do Mother's Day this year. We have a major campaign launching that week, and I'm going to be completely buried. Maybe we can do something the week after?" The week after. Always the week after, or the week before, or sometime soon, or we'll figure it out later. "Of course, honey. I understand," I said, forcing brightness into my voice. "Your work is important." After we hung up, I stood there for a moment, staring at my phone. The kitchen suddenly felt enormous and empty. I could hear the old wall clock ticking, each second seeming louder than the last. I called my son Michael next. He was 31, living in Boston with his wife Amber and their 2 kids, my only grandchildren, 6-year-old Emma and 4-year-old Noah. I hadn't seen them in 4 months. "Hey, Ma," Michael answered, and I could immediately hear the chaos in the background. Children shouting, a television blaring, Amber calling out something about dinner. "Hi, sweetheart. I wanted to talk about Mother's Day." There was a pause, and then a sigh. "Mom, Amber's mother is already upset because we spent Christmas with you. We really need to be here this year. You understand, right? It's complicated with the in-laws." "Right," I said quietly. "Of course, that makes sense. We'll visit soon, though, I promise. Maybe in the summer? Maybe in the summer. Maybe." The word that had become the soundtrack of my life. My youngest, 27-year-old Daniel, didn't even answer when I called. He texted back 2 hours later. "Super swamped with the new job, Mom. Can't do Mother's Day this year. Sorry. Love you." I sat down at my kitchen table, the same table where we'd had countless family dinners, where I'd helped with homework and listened to teenage drama and celebrated every small victory. The silence in the house was deafening. For 35 years, I had been a mother first. I'd put my career as a graphic designer on hold when Jessica was born. I'd volunteered for every school event, driven to every practice, stayed up through every illness and heartbreak. When Robert died of a sudden heart attack, my children had rallied around me for exactly 2 weeks before life pulled them back to their own concerns. I'd supported myself fine on Robert's life insurance and my freelance design work, but money wasn't the issue. The issue was that I had somehow become optional, a box to check, a duty to fulfill when convenient. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, feeling something crystallize inside me. It wasn't anger exactly, it was clarity, a sudden, sharp understanding that if I wanted my children to value me, I had to start valuing myself. The next morning, I woke up with a strange sense of purpose. I made my coffee, opened my laptop, and started searching for beach houses along the Carolina coast. I'd always dreamed of living by the ocean. Robert and I had planned to retire there, but after he died, the dream had seemed too big for just one person. But why? Why couldn't I do it alone? I spent the entire day looking at listings. By evening, I'd found it, a beautiful 3-bedroom cottage in Wilmington, North Carolina, just 2 blocks from the beach. It had white weathered siding, a wraparound porch with a swing, and large windows that promised an ocean view. The price was reasonable, well within what I could afford by selling my current house. My friend Caroline called while I was staring at the listing for the 100th time. "Patricia, you sound different," she said. "What's going on?" I told her everything. The phone calls, the rejection, the beach house. "Do it," Caroline said immediately. "I'm serious. Do it right now. You've spent your entire adult life putting everyone else first. It's your turn." "But what if I'm being selfish?" I asked, voicing the fear that had been nagging at me. Selfish? Caroline laughed. Patricia, taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. Your kids are adults with their own lives. You deserve to have one too. That night, I submitted an offer on the beach house. By the following week, it was accepted. I hired a realtor for my Philadelphia house, and it sold within days. The market was hot, and the location was perfect for young families. I didn't tell my children immediately. I knew what would happen. They'd have opinions, concerns, questions. They'd make it about them somehow. For once, I wanted to do something just for me, without committee approval. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of packing, downsizing, and planning. I kept only what mattered: photos, Robert's favorite chair, some furniture I loved. The rest I donated or sold. It felt liberating, like shedding old skin. I finally told my children 3 days before the move, just after Mother's Day had passed. A day I'd spent alone, treating myself to a spa day and a nice dinner. When I called Jessica to tell her about the move, there was a long silence. Wait, you bought a house? When? Where? In Wilmington, North Carolina, right by the beach. I'm moving next week. Next week? Mom, this is so sudden. Have you really thought this through? What about your friends here? What about your doctors? What about me? I interrupted gently. Jessica, I'm 58, not 88. I can make new friends and find new doctors. I've thought about this carefully and I'm excited. Michael's response was similar. Surprise, concern, a hint of something that might have been guilt. Daniel actually seemed happy for me, though I suspected he was too absorbed in his own life to fully process what I was saying. Moving day arrived with perfect May weather. As the moving truck pulled away from my Philadelphia house, I felt a mixture of sadness and exhilaration. I was saying goodbye to the home where I'd raised my family, but I was also saying hello to a version of myself I'd almost forgotten existed. The cottage was even more beautiful in person. The previous owners had left it immaculately maintained, with hardwood floors that glowed in the sunlight and a kitchen that opened onto a deck overlooking the neighborhood and, in the distance, glimpses of the ocean. I spent the first week settling in, painting the guest bedrooms in colors I loved: soft coral, sea glass blue, warm sand. I hung my artwork on the walls and arranged furniture until everything felt just right. I could walk to the beach in 5 minutes, and I did, every single morning and evening. The ocean changed everything. The constant sound of waves, the salt air, the endless horizon. It all reminded me that the world was so much bigger than my disappointments. I started taking photographs during my beach walks, rediscovering my artistic side. I joined a local book club and a watercolor painting class at the community center. For the first time in years, maybe decades, I felt like Patricia. Not Mom, not Robert's widow, just Patricia. I made friends with my neighbor, Helen, a retired teacher about my age who lived alone and had a similar story. Children who loved her, but were too busy for her. We started having coffee together every morning on my porch, watching the neighborhood wake up. You did the right thing, Helen told me one morning about 3 weeks after I'd moved in. You can't wait for your life to start. You have to start it yourself. I posted pictures on Facebook occasionally. Sunsets from my deck, my morning coffee with an ocean view, the local farmer's market. I didn't post them for my children specifically, but I knew they could see them. I was living my life, openly and happily, and I wasn't apologizing for it. Then, about a month after I'd moved in, something interesting started happening. Jessica called. Mom, your place looks beautiful, she said. How are you settling in? Wonderfully, I told her, and I meant it. I'm really happy here. That's great. That's really great. There was a pause. So, I was thinking maybe I could visit sometime, if that's okay? I smiled. Of course, sweetheart. You're always welcome. Just let me know when works for you. Michael called a few days later with a similar request. The kids have been asking about Grandma's beach house. They saw the pictures online. Could we maybe come visit? I'd love that, I said, genuinely meaning it. Daniel was the last to call. Mom, I'm really sorry about Mother's Day. I was a jerk. Can I come see your new place? Anytime, honey. It was early July when they all decided to come, the same weekend. Through a series of texts and phone calls that I watched unfold with quiet amusement in a family group chat I'd been added to. It seemed like they'd all suggested visiting separately, then realized they were choosing the same weekend, and decided to make it a family reunion. Part of me wondered if they felt guilty. Part of me wondered if they were genuinely interested in my new life. But mostly, I was just happy they were coming. I prepared the house carefully, making up the guest beds and stocking the kitchen with everyone's favorite foods. But I also made sure to keep my routine, my morning beach walks, my coffee with Helen, my watercolor class. This was my home now, and they were visiting my life, not the other way around. They arrived on a Friday afternoon in July. Jessica came first, pulling up in her rental car with designer sunglasses and a carry-on bag. She stood on my porch for a moment, looking at the house before I opened the door. "Mom," she said, and then she hugged me tight. "This place is incredible." Michael arrived an hour later with Amber and the kids. Emma and Noah ran immediately to the beach access path, bouncing with excitement. "Grandma, can we go to the beach? Can we? Please!" "After everyone gets here and gets settled," I promised, loving their enthusiasm. Daniel was the last to arrive, looking tired from his drive but smiling genuinely. "Ma, you did good. This place is amazing." That evening, we all walked to the beach together. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink and purple. Emma and Noah chased the waves while the adults walked along the shore. For the first time in years, we were all together, really together, without anyone checking their phone every 5 minutes or talking about needing to leave soon. "Mom, I owe you an apology," Jessica said as we walked. "Mother's Day, all of us saying we were too busy. That was wrong. I've been thinking about it a lot." "We all should have been there," Michael added. "We got so caught up in our own lives that we forgot. We forgot you have a life too, and that you deserve to be happy," Daniel finished. I stopped walking and looked at my 3 children, these adults who I'd raised, who I loved more than anything, but who I'd also enabled to take me for granted. "I appreciate that," I said carefully, "but I also need you to understand something. I didn't buy this house to make you feel guilty or to prove a point. I bought it because I wanted it, because I needed to remember that I'm more than just your mother. I'm also Patricia, a person with dreams and desires and a whole life ahead of me." "We get that now," Jessica said quietly. "Seeing you here, seeing you so happy, it made me realize we've been treating you like you're just waiting around for us to have time for you. That's not fair." "It's not," I agreed, "but I also take responsibility for letting it happen. I made you all the center of my universe for so long that I forgot I could be the center of my own." We stood there on the beach, the waves rolling in, the last light of day fading. Emma ran up to me, her little hand sandy and wet, and grabbed mine. "Grandma, I love your house. Can we come back again?" I picked her up, feeling her solid weight in my arms, and kissed her forehead. "Anytime, sweetheart. This is our family's beach house now. You're always welcome here." The rest of the weekend was beautiful. We cooked meals together in my kitchen, played games on the porch, spent long hours on the beach. But there was a difference now, a respect that hadn't been there before. When I said I had my watercolor class on Saturday morning, no one tried to convince me to skip it. When I mentioned my coffee date with Helen, they all wanted to meet her. On Sunday evening, as everyone was packing to leave, Jessica found me on the porch. "Mom, can I say something?" she asked, sitting down next to me on the swing. "Of course. I always thought of you as just being there, you know, like a constant. I never really thought about what you might want or need because you always seemed so focused on us. But watching you this weekend, seeing you in your element here with your friends and your art and your routine, I realized I don't really know you that well. Not as Patricia, just as Mom." Her eyes were teary, and I felt my own eyes sting in response. "I want to change that," she continued. "I want to actually know you, not just call when I need something or feel obligated, really know you." "I'd like that too," I said, putting my arm around her. Michael and Amber stopped by before leaving to tell me they'd already booked a weekend in August to come back. Daniel hugged me tight and whispered, "I'm proud of you, Ma. You're kind of a badass." After they all left, the house felt quiet, but not empty. I made myself a cup of tea and sat on the porch, watching the evening light fade over the neighborhood. Helen came over, as she often did. "How was the visit?" she asked. "Good," I said, and I meant it. "Really good. Different, but good." "You taught them something important," Helen said. "You taught them that love isn't about sacrifice and waiting. It's about showing up for each other when it matters." I thought about that as I sat there, listening to the distant sound of the ocean. My children hadn't been too busy for Mother's Day because they didn't love me. They'd been too busy because I'd taught them that my needs were always secondary, that I was always available, always waiting, always accommodating. By choosing myself, by buying this beach house and building this life, I hadn't pushed them away. I'd actually brought them closer. Because now when they visited, it was because they wanted to, not because they felt obligated. And when we talked, it was real. Not just them checking in on mom, but actual conversations between adults who cared about each other's lives. 3 months later, at the end of summer, all 3 of my children came back for my 59th birthday. They'd coordinated without me knowing, and they'd even brought Helen flowers as a thank you for being such a good friend to me. As we sat around my table that evening, eating birthday cake and telling stories, I looked at each of their faces, these people I'd created and raised, who were now truly seeing me for the first time, not just as their mother, but as a whole person. "Thank you," I said suddenly, interrupting a funny story Daniel was telling. "For what?" Jessica asked. "For coming, for making the effort, for caring." "Mom, of course we care," Michael said. "I know you do, but sometimes caring isn't enough. Sometimes you have to show up, and you're showing up. That means everything." Later that night, after everyone had gone to bed, I walked down to the beach alone. The moon was full, casting silver light across the water. I thought about the journey that had brought me here, the hurt, the decision, the courage it took to choose myself. I thought about Robert and what he would say if he could see me now. I think he'd be proud. He'd always wanted me to be happy, to pursue my dreams. He just hadn't lived long enough to see me finally do it. And I thought about my children, sleeping in my house, in this place I'd created for myself. They'd said they were too busy for Mother's Day, and in response, I'd bought a beach house. It sounded like the punchline to a joke, but it was really the beginning of a new chapter for all of us. The ocean rolled in, constant and eternal, reminding me that life keeps moving forward. You can wait for people to make time for you, or you can make a life so beautiful that people want to be part of it. I chose the latter, and in choosing myself, I didn't lose my children. I taught them how to truly see me, love me, and value me. Not as a martyr or a saint or someone who would always put herself last, but as a woman with her own dreams, her own life, and her own right to happiness. The beach house wasn't just a home. It was a statement, a boundary, and an invitation all at once. It said, "This is who I am. This is what I need. And if you want to be part of my life, you're welcome here, but you have to actually show up." And they did. Not perfectly, not every time, but genuinely. And that made all the difference. As I walked back to the house, I saw Jessica standing on the porch, wrapped in a blanket. "Couldn't sleep?" I asked as I climbed the steps. "I was watching you on the beach," she said. "You look so peaceful here, Mom. So yourself." "I am," I said simply. "For the first time in a long time, I really am." She hugged me then, and we stood there together, mother and daughter, 2 women who were finally learning to see each other clearly. The beach house had changed everything, but really, it wasn't the house that changed things. It was the choice to value myself, to pursue my happiness, to stop waiting for my life to begin. And now, standing on this porch with my daughter, the sound of the ocean in the distance, and my family sleeping safely inside, I knew I'd made the right choice. Sometimes love means letting go of who you were so you can become who you're meant to be. And sometimes, the best gift you can give your children is showing them that it's never too late to choose yourself.